Hello everybody, this is Clive5 doing a straight up commentary in a match between Zilea, the red Zerg in the 12 o'clock location, and ChaoxTech, the blue Terran, in the 2 o'clock position. Now this is a straight up commentary, not an embarrassing replay, and also of note this is Zilea, not Zileas of Brood War Protoss playing fame, so don't make that mistake. I bet none of you did. Anyway, Zilea, he's one of the more prominent streamers out there. Well, this is interesting. I don't get it. Maybe these two have played a lot. Anyway, Zilea in High Masters, he's in 4th place currently in his division. ChaoxTech also up there, of course, we're always rooting for him. ChaoxTech sent me a buttload of replays for me to commentate. He, of course, is going for a front door block, just a slightly different configuration than most people might be used to, but by putting the barracks here, he can put down an add-on to sort of complete the seal there. Wow, so Zilea, not the best mannered fellow. Anyway, yeah, so we're always rooting for ChaoxTech, of course. And I also noticed, so I'm kind of also doing these for selfish reasons. I've noticed that when I do post games of higher level players, I tend to get a few more hits than most embarrassing replays does, and I guess my ulterior motive is to attract people to Power Overwhelming and, you know, also, of course, the show, so I want to get more people involved and as many people as possible. So that is my ulterior motive. I want full disclosure here, just so you all know. ChaoxTech going for a reactor first and also a Reaper, so it looks like he might be trying to do something sort of shenanigan-y, but this SCV is scouting in the wrong direction. Zilea does have that hatchery going down, but there's an Overlord to protect it, so it seems very, very unlikely that ChaoxTech will be able to get away with any sort of a bunker rush in this setup here for the game. Spawning pool going down and starting to harvest that gas right away. It'll be interesting to see if he ends up going for quick speed or not. Ooh, actually, ChaoxTech is going for shenanigans. Who would have guessed it? A supply depot and a bunker at the bottom of the ramp, so now Zilea can't get units down the ramp to defend this. Here comes the Reaper. It's easily going to be able to get in here and start taking pot shots off on his hatchery. So now you know why MLG maps have those... oh jeez, he said he needed bullets. Nice. So the MLG maps have those supply depots locked at the bottom of the map, and wow, ChaoxTech not canceling, but halting production just shy of... Oh, canceling it now, so... Wow, it looks like he's doing some... wow, some pretty ravenous damage, creeping bunkers up the ramp. Meanwhile, Zilea trying to get anything down that he can. Roach Warren coming down, and that's going to be a good call because Roaches do pretty well against Terran buildings. Definitely losing that hatchery. And Zilea brought up that he thinks that this is a pretty all-in build. Really, it's not. I mean, the minerals required to put down a bunker and a couple of Reapers, not going to be game-changing because, as you can see, ChaoxTech already going for a factory. He's going to be able to start producing, well, I'm sure Hellions, because that's his unit of choice now. And now deciding to back off after he's done some damage. Good choice with that. He's already taken down the hatchery, so he's put Zilea behind in the economic game. He was expecting to have that up and running by now. Zilea, on the other hand, does have some roaches now, which he had to go very quickly in order to defend against that bunker rush, and not much ChaoxTech has to really defend against it. A single Marauder, though he does have, of course, this supply depot wall at his front, has likely enough SCVs to take care of business repairing that wall. Oh man. So, this isn't an embarrassing replay, but it's pretty dang funny. Really, I'm kind of actually surprised at how little is going on in Zilea's base. He is going for that hatchery again, but still, what else is going on here? He's dancing these roaches around, not going to be able to penetrate the wall. ChaoxTech, in the meantime, has a few Marauders out, has that concussive shell, finished researching, and, well, of course, Hellions are in production. This is a ChaoxTech match. ChaoxTech also going for a command center, which, yeah, he'll expand shortly, be on par with the Zerg player. You never, as a Zerg player, you never want to be equal to the number of bases your opponent has. You always want to be ahead. Well, I guess any player always wants to be ahead, but Zerg especially. ChaoxTech just poking in to see what's going on. And he does see that that hatchery is now up and going to be started, well, getting saturated here. That's lots of Zerglings. And they're going to have speed pretty soon. Zilea, expand! Well, little does he know that ChaoxTech is floating out his, not just command center, but orbital command just now. This Overlord looking all cocky, thinking, oh, ChaoxTech hasn't expanded yet, but really he has. And wow, doing okay, ChaoxTech, with his army size and army comp. I mean, all Zilea has is roaches and Zerglings, and hey, guess what? ChaoxTech has Marauders and Hellions. That's pretty much the perfect counter right there. So really, I think that ChaoxTech has the upper hand. Has even caused quite a decent amount of psychological damage, I'd have to say. Not only taking down that hatchery, but just the chatter that's been going back and forth here. Got to be really distracting to Zilea, who claims that ChaoxTech needs a bullet in the head. Well, I guess we'll see who gets the proverbial bullet. Ooh, Hellions trying to run up the ramp. Actually, Zilea gonna lose a whole bunch of Zerglings. ChaoxTech not losing a ton of Hellions. Of course, they don't stand up too well against roaches. Nice response, I have to say, from Zilea blocking off that ramp just to prevent, even though he lost all those Zerglings, prevented some serious damage in his own mineral line. So what else is going on here? Nothing really. We got a layer, but nothing beyond that. Looking for some tech. Oh, there it is. I just wasn't close enough. It's the infestation pit. Well, that's excellent. Hellions continuing to roam the map, and actually I'm looking for more from ChaoxTech. I'm hoping to see shuttles, and there we go. There it is, the shuttle, not the shuttle, rather, medevac. I'm still stuck in my Brood War days, and going for another factory, so we're going to start seeing ChaoxTech go for that massive factory build that he likes to go for. And Infestors are actually going to become, well, they don't do so great against Terran mech. So, really, I guess it's not necessarily a misstep. I think he's responding more to the numbers of Reapers and Marauders that he's seen out on the field. But really, once ChaoxTech starts rolling, and I'm assuming he's going to start getting tanks and whatnot. Well, tanks and Thor usually is what he'll end up going for, and he does have a tech lab here. I'm wondering what he's going to go for first. If he's going to start researching or just start producing tanks. He does have that armory up, so he can produce tanks at any minute now. Hey, busting down that the destructible rocks near the gold, and actually an additional hatchery just outside the second. So this is actually in response to having to keep his, well, he did have his queens piled up here, and when he's concentrating so hard on keeping his front door sealed, I think he was missing out on some spawn larva. So I guess he's just trying to boost that that larva count without having to rely on so much queen intervention. Check out units lost. Option shift. No, that's not the one. I'm so bad with this stuff, you guys. Units killed. Control R. There we go. Units killed, workers killed. So, ChaoxTech killed some workers, right? Am I reading that right? That he killed 7 workers? Alright, well anyway, ChaoxTech back in the base with his dropship, and medevac. It's a medevac. Okay, and the Hellions are coming in, causing some serious damage, and drones starting to run, and that's actually the worst thing I know I've recommended before, don't run your drones away, because then they line up, especially when they're running through a little tiny space like this. They all line up in single files, and that's when I get the most hilariously hearty, crispy fried drones charred up with my Hellions. Oh, it's just so delicious, and I'm sure ChaoxTech loves that too. So that's my little piece of advice. Don't run your drones. Just keep a couple spine crawlers back here. Just better yet, keep some units in the back of your base to prevent against that Hellion harass. It's really, really difficult to micro against drones actually when you have army units in proximity of your Hellions. The Hellions have a priority attack on the units, so you have to really micro well. ChaoxTech now moving out to take his own gold expansion, and he has a really terrifying army actually. Look at all those tanks, and I'm sure they have siege. Yes, they do. And even though Zilea has about an even army size, these infestors are just going to melt when these tanks pull up and siege up. So that's not going to be a very good engagement for Zilea. ChaoxTech has actually a great time here to move out. Don't really know what he's waiting for. Interesting, I've not seen this sort of configuration. Not quite a full seal. Just really odd supply depot placement. Maybe it was just convenient placement, I'm not sure. Speed Overlord moving in just to check out what's going on. Not going to see anything because ChaoxTech's army is out here. And I do want to switch over to first person and see... Oh, Raffle Mech, he said. So he did catch a glimpse of what was going on, and now he's freaking out. And I like switching over to first person, because then you can see how quickly these guys are darting around the map, trying to see what's going on. Ooh, going for layer as well, or for hive rather. Nice scan from ChaoxTech right on top of everything Zilea has, and Zilea is going to be screwed here. Sorry to be so blunt, but look at this mech gigantic army. Ooh, delicious, delicious ravens as well to clean up that creep mess. And wow, actually ChaoxTech getting his Hellions out a little bit too far, allowing the infestors to pull off a few fungal growths. Nothing too detrimental though. Oop, Thor wandering out a little bit too far. He might actually get... nah, he's okay. So actually going for a leapfrog, and wow, huge Zergling counterattack, all inning basically against ChaoxTech, trying to do as much damage as he can. Of course, ChaoxTech still has this nice neat little wall off up here. Oh, so much damage in the mineral line. Of course, Zilea is losing his gold expansion. Oh, so much going on right here. ChaoxTech's going to be fine. He'll just be able to lift off that command center if it starts getting low. But now, well, let's go back to that workers killed. Ooh, delicious, delicious, delicious worker kills from Zilea. I'm sure he's proud of that. But he's got to be able to do something about these tanks, and that's what the real problem is here. He just doesn't have enough units to tank against these tanks. Wow, that was odd. And hey, nice. I actually like that. Using the infestor mind control. It's not mind control. Neural parasite. No. To grab that Thor and dispatch the tanks. How about that? Just, oh, so close, but not quite enough to finish off ChaoxTech's army. Man, it was so close with those SCVs repairing the Thor. It is, and help of the medevac, it's going to get away. Wow. So now both players have sufficiently obliterated each other's army. ChaoxTech able to reproduce right away, and he still has this gold expansion up and running. Zilea, on the other hand, lost his gold expansion, is actually looking a little bit sparse in terms of workers. He hasn't fully recovered from the Hellion attacks on his main, trying to plant down that gold expansion again, and this is not going to be a close match, people. ChaoxTech is starting to run away. Just check out the army size in comparison. He's doing great. Gonna move in for another attack. Again, letting those Hellions get out a little bit too far, and he really needs to keep those Hellions around for the support, because siege tanks, not so good against speedlings, actually, because the speedlings can run up in there and get up in tank business, if you know what I mean. So he does have to be careful about that. Making sure, wow, moving in maybe just a little bit too close, but wow, terrible, terrible micro from Zilea's troops there, and Zilea just not happy about it. Mech versus Zerg, lol, so bad. Worst build in the game. You need a bullet in the head, and I can't top that. So that's the match. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.